Hello, everybody. This is Dee from Dee's Cute and Crafty, and I am back with three very cute and very easy Easter DIYs for you, all made from one of the Dollar Tree wire baskets. So you're going to need one of the wire baskets, of course, some ribbon, some twine, a piece of cardboard. I'm using my Waverly chalk paint in the color plaster, one of my solo wood flowers, and one of the Dollar Tree birthday boxes. I just want the lid from that. The box size is whatever size you want it to be. So I have a piece of cardboard that I traced around the lid and I cut it to fit because I really don't want to go through trying to sand off all of that glitter and then paint on top of that box. It's just too much. This is so much easier. Just cover it with a piece of cardboard. So now I'm going to go in with my Waverly chalk paint in the color plaster and give this top 2 or 3 coats around the rim, 1 coat in the back, 2 or 3 coats in the center. And I am going to go ahead and Mod Podge that just because the box is kind of shiny and plasticky and the paint will peel off. So now set that to the side, let that Mod Podge dry and work on cutting this ring off of this wire mesh basket because we need the mesh. So wire cutters cut through this really, really easy. And there we have it. That ring is off. We're going to set it to the side because we're going to come back to that. We are going to get 3 DIYs out of this mesh basket. So the basket measures out at about 9 inches. I went down 5 inches and cut a ring around that. And this is going to be our Farmhouse cloche. This came out so cute, you guys. I hope you try it. So I just cut down the center of that mesh basket just to see how much I need and how much I don't need by measuring it with the cap or the lid. And so I'm just tucking it down in there, and I want it to overlap a little bit, but I don't want it to overlap like so much that it's obvious, if that makes any sense, because we're going to use that latch hook method of connecting those ends together so that I don't have to try to use wire or anything like that. And you can definitely use the floral wire, that paddle wire from Dollar Tree to connect this, but it's so much easier just to take the pointed pieces, stick them through the diamond piece and fold it over. It's just like a chain link fence kind of look, and it just works out so much better doing it that way. Just be careful because it is kind of prickly and you don't want to stick your fingers. So now that I've got that connected, I'm just going to start bending it in towards the center. I just want a small hole at the top. So I'm just manipulating it and bending it and shaping it the way that I want. And that's why I love using this because it's very malleable. You can make it do what you want it to do. Again, just be careful. Wear gloves on this part. Dollar Tree has some cute little gardening gloves that you can wear for this if you're worried about getting stuck. So now I'm going to use one of my solo wood flowers as the handle for the top. Normally you would see like a ring or a bead or a very pretty decorative knob. I'm going to use one of my solo wood flowers as the knob because I want this to be very rustic, very farmhouse, and very country. So I'm just trimming down the bottom of that solo wood flower. And normally you would think, well, just leave that stem on there so you can stick it in there and it would hold it. It's not going to. I need it to be flat because I'm going to add some hot glue, and then I'm just going to put a little cardboard round on the bottom of that solo wood flower to help hold it in there, hold it in place. And I'm also adding jute twine to help hold it in place as well, and also to give it more texture and a little bit more pull in that brown, because if you look at the solo wood flower, it's got brown trim pieces on it. So I'm pulling that color in as well. So I'm just going to glue that around and around. And the glue is going to leak down into the basket if you use too much. So just be careful with how much glue that you use. And that holds it on top. Now I'm going to go in with this beautiful brown lace ribbon that I picked up at Hobby Lobby. Again, pulling in the brown color from the flower and from the jute twine. And we're just going to go around the rim of that lid. Now this is one of my spindle, or not spindle, one of my spools that I love to make, and I use them as risers. And this is just one that I had laying around. And I thought that I would add it to this because it has that green color to it, and it gives my cloche a little lift. I love how this turned out, and I hope you guys do too. I actually made two of them. I made one using some of the mesh from one of the black garbage bags, one of the black mesh trash cans from the Dollar Tree. And this was just some black mesh that I had left over from a previous project. And I thought, ooh, let's make another one. So I made a small one without a stand to it. These are so cute, so farmhouse, and just perfect for your tiered tray or just to set on an end table or a center table to decorate for Easter. I love them, and I'm glad you guys are here to share it with me. Moving on to DIY number 2, you're going to need some florals. You're going to need that wire ring that we cut off of the mesh basket. Florals of your choice as far as flowers, whatever you want to use. I'm going to be using my solo wood flowers, and you're also going to need some of the nautical rope. This one is so simple. If you blink, you're going to miss it. So we're just going to make a wreath using that wire ring that we cut from the trash bag, or I keep calling it a trash bag, you guys, the waste paper basket. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so I left the center of the ring a little bulky. And I did that because that's where my florals and um, my greenery is going to go. And I wanted it to have something to stick to. I wanted to give the flowers something that they could hold on to when I glue them down. This is an indoor wreath, so I'm not worried about tying everything on because it will not be outside or in sunlight. So all I did was go around it with the nautical cord and or the rope, and then just make an area that's really very bulky. And I love this because you can use that either as the bottom or as the side or even as the top, just depending on how you hang it. So I just twined together my greenery, and I did tie that on. I used some boxwood and some lamb's ear. Again, wreath making, so simple. And I glued my solo wood flowers to it. I chose some of the teal green. I chose the neutral color and some of that soft, like peachy, pale orange color or pink. And I love how it turned out. This was really simple, but it's really pretty. I also tied a piece of, or glued a piece of that brown lace that I used on my cloche to the back to use this as a hanger. On to DIY number 3 and the final DIY for this video. You're going to need some moss and some florals and my Hello Hobby chalk paint in aqua and swan and Waverly chalk paint and moss. I have some leftover wood carrots, 2 little flat beads that I've already painted pink, and some of my wood Scrabble tiles from Walmart, and 3 of these wood square trays from Walmart, some more of that mesh from that basket, and also 2 of the wood bunnies from Hobby Lobby, and also some very pretty floral gift wrap paper from Dollar Tree. So I took those 3 colors of paint, the moss, the swan, and the aqua. I mixed them together to try to get this teal color that I see in the paper. You guys let me know how I did. I think I came pretty close. So we are going to paint one of the wood trays or boxes, frames, whatever you want to call it, completely, all the way around the sides and in the center. And then the other 2 we are going to just paint the edge and the sides, and we're going to try that decoupage again. Doesn't matter how I do it. You guys know what it is. It's going to be some wrinkles. And you know what? Thank you to everyone who's given me suggestions about Mod Podge and what's the best way to do it and what I can do to avoid the wrinkles. You guys are so awesome. You have given me excellent advice. I'm just not good at it, but I'm going to keep trying. Anyway, thank you for your help. This DIY did come out really cute, and it is my favorite DIY of the three that I presented to you today. I hope you guys like it as much as I do. So I'm just going in and getting that adhered and setting it aside and letting it dry. And I'm going to give these two bunnies a rough coat of my plaster Waverly chalk paint. Thank you, thank you, thank you to everyone who joined me today for this video. You guys are amazing. The support, the love is just awesome. I did decide from the viewer's opinion, from my friends and family out there watching me that have subscribed, your opinion matters. Every single time it matters. And so the general consensus is that my Facebook page should be called Dee's Cute and Crafty DIY Divas. So that is the name of the Facebook page. I will give you more information on it. So watch my community tab. So I'm taking these two flat beads that I had in my stash and I painted them in the Waverly chalk paint color ballet slipper. And I glued those down for the bunny tail. And then I had leftover carrots. I bought a ton of these things and I made different crafts with them. And I had some left over. So I said, let's just use these in this DIY. Let's pull some of that orange out of the paper, like pull that color forward. So I just put the carrots on and they are super cute. Again, this is one of my favorites. It is my favorite for this DIY or this video today. So I am laying down some moss. I'm trying to get rid of it. It's messy, although this particular one that I'm using isn't that bad. But the Spanish moss, and there's another green moss that I purchased from Dollar Tree. It's just really messy. Comes in handy, but I'm trying to get rid of it. So I'm just gluing down these florals. And you can see here that that is why I didn't put paper on this one, because I want the florals to shine. I want them to pop. And I felt like that paper and the flowers would have just been too busy. So just getting those glued down. You guys, if you made it to this far in the video and you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Give it a big fat thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and hit your notification bell so you never miss out on another cute and crafty idea from Dee. I would love to have you as part of the Cute and Crafty family. And it's free. So we're using that mesh. I told you we would get three DIYs out of that basket. We're using some more of the mesh just to make a little fence. And I'm just putting it on and forming it to this mouth. This mouth, you guys, I told you, it's brand new. I haven't learned how to use it yet. I am stumbling over my words like crazy today. Don't even know why. Anyway, you see what I'm doing. I just formed the mesh around that wood frame, and I didn't even bother about like hot gluing it because it would just made a mess or anything like that, because we're going to add some jute, well, not jute, I got the nautical cord to hang this up. So the nautical cord will help to glue that mesh basket piece to the back of this wood frame. So I tried to measure it out to get everything nice and neat and straight. I was trying to measure like an inch between each frame. Yeah, it's a little wonky. It is, but I still love it. It adds character, and it's my favorite. So we're just going to glue that down, and it's going to act as the hanger as well. Because I just took one piece and I went up one side, made a loop, and went down the other side. So at the top is how it's hung. You'll be able to see it when I hang it up. My table is not that long, you guys, so I just can't show you the whole thing in frame. I'm working in limited space, and I'm still trying to get the hang of doing all my own editing. So because I don't want this to scratch up my walls with that mesh on the back, I'm just covering it in some ribbon. covering up those jagged edges so that I don't have an issue with my walls. And I just took my tiles, spelled out the word Happy Easter, and glued my tiles to the side of the frame in just a um, haphazard kind of way, because I think it's really cute like that. And you don't have to worry about being so precise and straight. And then I went in with my Waverly chalk paint in the color plaster. And I had to dry brush it. I couldn't help myself, but it is so cute. And it truly is my favorite. Comment down below and let me know which one you guys like. I always want to know which ones you guys like. Thank you again for being here. You are greatly appreciated. And this is the final reveal.